The Nightbeat starts right now.
It is a parent's nightmare how a man who lost his son is using his pain to help others.
This is also a topic that more people want to discuss. A local gun safety educator says that a conversation, a simple conversation, can change everything. But first tonight, a San Antonio man wanted on 3 felony warrants is now behind bars.
But it's what SWAT officers had to do to detain him that still has people in a local neighborhood talking tonight. The night team's John Paul Barajas has video of those moments, and he spoke to a man who lives nearby.
This is the San Antonio Police Department. We know you're in there. We're not going anywhere. And we have the place surrounded.
Just before 6 p.m. Thursday, 29-year-old Samuel Espinoza found himself in a standoff with SAPD at this Southside apartment complex in the 6200 block of South New Braunfels, which left neighbors in a panic.
Turned off the lights, got him down off the bed, put the kids on the floor because we're kind of scared of maybe somebody's going to start shooting or something, because you don't know if somebody's going to start shooting and bullets are going to start ricocheting through the window and just all sorts of possibilities start running through your head.
What was a scary situation for Paul Garcia and his family had another woman fearing for her life. That woman was inside the apartment with the suspect. She called a friend for help, who then called police. SAPD says when they approached the apartment, they heard someone inside saying, quote, "Stay quiet and don't say anything."
This is the San Antonio Police Department. We know you're in there. You're not in trouble. We want to help you. We want to make sure that you're okay.
After hours of negotiations with SAPD's Special Operations Unit, Espinoza gave himself up and no one was hurt. But neighbors say the incident gave them a night they'll never forget.
You see a whole bunch of lights. You just see a whole bunch of cops scattered. Cops in the front of the situation, cops in the back. We've never had the place surrounded like that where SWAT team was actually there. We never actually witnessed anything like that. So that was the first time experience.
And the reason for that large police presence was because of Espinoza's 3 felony warrants and lengthy criminal history. According to the Bexar County court records, he's been charged for assault 3 times, the most recent one in January, where the alleged victim was a pregnant woman. Espinoza will be staying here tonight at the Bexar County Jail. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, John Paul. Let's go now to a developing story. San Antonio fire crews trying to figure out what sparked this fire that spread to a home, at least 2 vehicles, and 2 jet skis.
A lot of damage. That video was taken just a short time ago from the scene on Maury Peak Drive near Blanco and Lock Hill Selma. It's on the city's north side. While there was heavy damage to the house and vehicles, crews are telling us that nobody got hurt in that fire.
Yeah, they said the fire most likely started in the backyard. They don't know yet what sparked the flames. We'll bring you updates on this story both on air and online as soon as we get new information. This hot, dry weather has not been helping when it comes to fires. This is the scene at a brush fire just before 5 p.m. at I-35 and New Laredo Highway. TransGuide cameras capturing smoke blowing from the side of the road over the highway. Crews quickly put the flames out. There are no reports of injuries here either. And fire crews have a busy day. This is what's left of a Dollar Tree store on North Main near San Antonio College. That used to be the front of the store. You can see the remains toppling over there. It happened just before 1 a.m. Took crews several hours to put out the massive flames. The store ended up being demolished. Still not clear what sparked all of this. Right now, the Bexar County Crime Lab has about 7 months worth of cases waiting to be tested.
So the lab director admits that they've had challenges in clearing the backlog. Last September, a lab supervisor hoped that a new technique would cut their backlog in half in just months. But the lab's director says that hasn't happened.
He says staffing's been a challenge. He did say the investment into a new technique has helped, though.
We're actually doubled our throughput. Now we're treading water, if you will. We're no longer losing ground. We're able to meet what's coming in.
But they need more. The lab director is hoping to add 2 more positions. He says that about 60% of the lab's workload is dedicated to sexual assault kits.
Have you seen this girl? Bexar County deputies have been looking for her for the last 2.5 months. 14-year-old Lila Perez was actually last seen on May 30th. She's 5'6", has brown eyes and hair. She was wearing blue pants with a black T-shirt when she was last seen. If you know where she is, there's a desperate search for her tonight. Call the Bexar County Sheriff's Office at 210-335-6000. 6,000. Just days after a 3-year-old was found with a gun in their backpack, gun safety educators are calling for more conversations about gun safety.
Yeah, educators say that starting those discussions with your family can be as simple as just creating a safety plan. The Night Team's Avery Everett shows us how small steps in your home can lead to a community-wide conversation on gun violence.
And anytime you're behind the 8 ball, it's tough to catch up.
A community issue that Bill Slater says needs community action.
Just because you're not involved in the situation doesn't mean you can't get sucked into it.
Slater is a gun safety instructor. He has these conversations regularly in his classes, but he wants more people talking.
This is something that needs to occur all the time.
The number of shootings and gun-related crimes continue to climb across San Antonio. And Slater says it's everyone's responsibility to address safety efforts head on.
You need to understand what's the gun capable of doing.
So how do you start this conversation in your own home? University Health's Director of Injury Prevention, Jennifer Northway, says it can be as simple as creating a safety plan.
We need the conversation about firearms and safe storage to become just as commonplace.
The county and sheriff's office collaborate with University Health to run the program Gun Safety for Bear. And Northway says her office has seen an increase in demand for free gun locks and cables this summer.
We want to make firearm ownership as safe as possible for those who have weapons and for those who don't.
But bringing these discussions to a bigger audience is oftentimes easier said than done. Slater says it helps to remember we're all human.
Take emotion politics out of it. The two things that are going to be the most impossible things to do.
There's no easy solution to gun violence.
Every little bit helps. Something is always going to be better than nothing.
But Slater says starting the conversation is a step in the right direction.
Tomorrow is the last free handout of gun safes and locks by the Bexar County Commissioner's Court. Registration to pick up one of those has already closed. The initiative does have 12 gun lock pickup locations open year-round. We have those listed on KSAT.com. Steve, Stephania.
Thank you, Avery. To Houston now, the Harris County Sheriff's Office arresting the man accused of shooting and injuring 3 law enforcement officers there. 29-year-old Taryn Green allegedly shot a deputy on Wednesday during a traffic stop. Deputies confronted Green last night at his home in Northeast Houston. During that standoff that followed, he allegedly shot 2 more officers. Green taken into custody this morning. He's charged with 3 counts of attempted capital murder.
Former President Donald Trump and 18 of his co-defendants have exactly 1 week to turn themselves into a jail in Georgia. They're accused of conspiring to overturn the results of the 2020 election in Georgia. Meantime, one of the 18 is trying to delay the trial. The Fulton County District Attorney wants the trial to begin in March, but Jeffrey Clark, who used to work for the Justice Department, says that's way too soon, considering that no one in the indictment has been arrested or arraigned. By the way, Trump has been indicted 4 times since leaving the White House.
Now we're going to talk about Meta. Time is running out for eligible Facebook users to file a claim in a data privacy settlement case. Facebook's parent company, Meta, agreed to pay $725 million in December to settle privacy-related class action lawsuits. Those suits allege third parties had access to private user information. Eligible users have until August 25th to file a claim. In order to be eligible, you must have had a Facebook account at any point between May 24th of 2007 and December 22nd of last year. You're going to be out and about this weekend. There's some traffic changes on the north side of town you're going to want to know about. Let's go to the map right now. TxDOT closing portions of Loop 1604 just about an hour ago. This is all part of the 1604 North expansion project. Both directions from the Northwest Military Highway exit ramps to the Northwest Military Highway entrance ramp are closed. The intersection at Loop 1604 and Northwest Military Highway will also be fully closed, including turnarounds. These closures will be in place from now until Monday morning at 5 a.m. We have detour information posted for you over on KSAT.com.
And after this weekend, more of our students are going to be heading back to class. The list of districts set to begin the school year on Monday include Comal ISD, Medina Valley ISD, New Braunfels ISD, Somerset ISD, and Southwest ISD. Good luck to those students. Now, tomorrow, students and their families are invited to the District 6 Back to School Bash. It's happening at Hallmark University from 10 to 2. Your kids will be able to get their vaccines, haircuts, and school supplies.
Our KSAT community team will be setting up shop at the Alamo Dome next weekend for the KSAT Pigskin Classic. Not this weekend, next weekend. We're excited to collect donations for the San Antonio Food Bank during all 4 of those high school games. You can scan this code on your screen right now to make a donation, or you can just head to our website, KSAT.com, to see the full list of the items the food bank says they need most.
And don't forget to get your tickets for this year's KSAT Pigskin Classic. They're on sale ahora, right now. Just scan this QR code to see all of our ticket options. It kicks off on the 25th, followed by our triple header on the 26th. And believe me when I say this, you don't want to miss it.
It's happened again. Another positive West Nile test in Bexar County. What you can do to protect yourself. And a father who tragically lost his child using his pain to keep it from happening to other parents. We'll show you how.
Yes, the kiddos are back in school, but there's still plenty of sun, summer, and pool time left to enjoy this season. So that means we still have to be cautious when it comes to drownings. The night team's Patty Santos speaks with a father who knows that tragedy all too well. And now he's trying to protect other families.
We didn't realize he had learned how to open the door. And so by the time we knew it, he was already halfway to the pool.
Fear drove Mary Vasquez to immediately install a fence around her backyard pool.
I'm gonna find a way to get in.
She says her 4-year-old grandson is showing signs of autism and is extremely drawn to water.
He's just, without any fear, he's walking right into it.
Autistic children, they're 90 times more likely to drown than your average child.
Jason Sheffield, owner of Lifesaver Pool Fence of the Hill Country, just got done installing the fence. After every job, he offers families safety advice.
Teach your kids to swim, survival swim.
He's made it his personal mission to save families from the nightmare he experienced. His 3-year-old son died by drowning.
Tomorrow is the 7-year anniversary of the day that he drowned. He was the 90th child in 2016 to drown. 107 actually drowned that year and died. This year we're at 56.
Texas child drowning statistics show 3 Bexar County kids under the age of 4 have drowned this year so far. 2 of them drowned in pools.
Get a fence, keep your kids from getting in a pool. Lift up on the latch.
For families like Mary, installing a fence is half the cost
and you can let go and it closes.
Of what a funeral would be.
Instead of funeral and the guilt that you're gonna live with for the rest of your life doesn't outweighs the cost of the fence.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Another mosquito tests positive for West Nile virus. It's actually the 7th time it's happened this summer just in the San Antonio area. The latest positive test result came from a mosquito in East Bexar County. According to the CDC, there have been 2 reported cases of West Nile virus in humans in Bexar County this year, 20 cases in Texas. Symptoms include fever, headache, body aches, and vomiting. There are several things you can do to try and limit your exposure to mosquitoes. That list includes getting rid of any sitting water around your home, make sure pools are maintained and properly chlorinated. Right now on KSAT.com, we have a full list of things you can do to protect yourself. Just look for this article.
You know, and it's interesting. You usually worry about mosquitoes a lot when there's rain. Not that that's been a problem here. 91 degrees out there right now. Adam?
Yeah, and we do still have a shot at some rain in the forecast, but right now I'm starting to lose some confidence in much of it making it to San Antonio, unfortunately. I'm going to get to that really quickly in one moment, but I want to show you this from KSAT Connect. It just came in, and this was from earlier today. This is a big dust devil along I-10 just south of Fair Oaks Ranch. Now, this looks like that what I think is a landscaping business along the side of I-10. You see a lot of rocks piled up there, a lot of stone, I should say, and rocks, and it's a dusty area. And so when you get that dust devil, you can clearly see it. I promise you there have been more dust devils around town that we just couldn't see because they weren't picking up enough dust to actually visibly see them. It's the little bits of debris in it that allow you to see that vortex and that wind. But more common this summer than I've ever seen around here because of this intense heat and our very dry ground. We want to try to alleviate the dry ground. Unfortunately, we're looking at just a 30% chance of rain Tuesday, a 20% chance on Wednesday. So let's get to the latest on this upper level ripple, upper level disturbance in the flow. Moving through the Bahamas right now. It's really just a cluster of some thunderstorms that's moving westward into the Gulf. It'll be in the Gulf of Mexico by Sunday, Monday. And now the National Hurricane Center gives it a 50% chance of turning into a tropical depression. Bottom line, this is going to have some tropical moisture, mostly going to be upper level support with generating the showers and storms. Because the Big Blue H is going to be centered over Iowa and Missouri, that means the steering flow aloft will help push it toward Texas. And right now, the trends are most of the rain far south of San Antonio. Actually, the most consistent computer model. One thing I look at in these longer range computer models is consistency. A lot of them will flip-flop or waffle back and forth, run to run. I like the consistency. This one in particular, the American GFS, has been very consistent in keeping the majority of the rain south of Highway 90, south of San Antonio, closer to South Padre, Brownsville, Corpus Christi, and the Rio Grande Valley. Of course, we could use anything. Look at our fire risk, fire danger for tomorrow. It's in the very high category for a good chunk of our area, high to very high. As we saw earlier in the newscast, it doesn't take much, even on the side of a road, to spark a grass fire, which can then get out of control quickly. All right, let's talk temperatures. 104 today, 1 degree shy of the record. And today marked the 53rd 100-degree day so far this year. The most we've ever had was 59 back in 2009. And we're making our run at 21. We've had now 20 consecutive 100-degree days. Tomorrow we'll make 21. And then I do think on Sunday we will take first place from 1969. 78 tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. By noon, 95, sunny, 104. Don't be alarmed if you see another dust devil pop up, especially in the quarries. You may see them in the quarries or construction zones, particularly 1604 on the north side. That all the limestone that's been broken up gets really dusty. You may see a few of them out there. And usually they only last about 10-15 seconds, but we have got prime conditions for them. 104 in Uvalde, Canyon Lake 103 tomorrow, Lackland, Elmendorf 104, Lavernia at 105. And then Sunday's pretty much the same. Sunny, hot, dry, the high in enhanced fire danger because fires can start quickly, and if they do, then they can spread rapidly. And upper 90s by Tuesday and Wednesday. So I do think we've got a good shot at breaking the consecutive 100-degree day streak, but that's banking on the clouds and a little bit of moisture working our way.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Larry, you and I talked about this.
We did.
I don't know if it's good if you're a Cowboys fan to have Cowboy defenders in your quarterback's face.
That, and it's also not good to have your players punching another guy when they have a helmet on.
You're on the same team.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday as well. So Dak offers his thoughts on the Cowboys fighting a couple days ago, and yeah, pretty much he's like, punching, don't do it, man. And San Antonio FC, they really have little time to rest up and heal coming up.
Maintain the intensity regardless if the bodies may be a little bit fatigued or not. There's no excuses. We have to showcase that intensity from the first whistle to the last whistle.
Alan Marcino wants to see max intensity from SAFC tomorrow night in Big Board Sports.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
The Dallas Cowboys say they showed a lot of passion Wednesday at training camp when some skirmishes broke out during their second to last practice in Oxnard and their last one in pads. Dak pulled Micah Parsons off to the side after the Lion punched Tyler Biadasz because that's really not a smart thing to do.
It just shows you're ready to play somebody else. You're ready to really unleash your passion. You're really ready to show who you are and you can be. And you've got a defense that is the best in the league. And they get to just tap you on the hip and feel like they tackled you and get to yapping. So I'm all for as y'all know, the trash talking and for the vipering up and letting the passion be shown. But as I said, when the punches are thrown, we're risking breaking hands, breaking fingers, and then that's when, as I said, we're putting our team in jeopardy with time missed. So we just got to be smarter than that.
Houston Texans running back Dameon Pierce is ready to top 1,000 yards rushing this season after coming up 61 yards short as a rookie. Tomorrow, the Texans will host the Dolphins. So what's his message for Texans fans ahead of the first home game of the season?
Be loud, be safe, be present, and don't eat too many chili dogs at the concession stand.
There you go. Texans will host the Fins at NRG Stadium tomorrow at 3 p.m. During the past few weeks, we've been previewing area high school football teams as they get ready for the new season. Now, while I was looking on our video feeds today, I came across a funny story from Rice Lake High School in Wisconsin, where moms got to tackle their sons. WQOW's Nick Tabbert has more.
Hit after hit. Moms took on their sons and took them down.
It felt amazing.
All I could hear was roar in my head.
It sounded just like the NFL in my helmet. I was so proud.
10 minutes of fun changed a lifetime of perspective for these parents who didn't have the chance to play in high school.
I like being on the field and seeing it at, that level.
We learned a lot about the complexity and the beauty of football. It's just been so cool. It's almost like you're seeing it through different lens after today.
Dan Hill hosted a mom's practice for the first time last year and received positive feedback. This year, the Warriors again welcomed moms to participate.
Down, set, hut, hut.
And even let them put on pads.
And the next thing you know, the moms want to tackle their kids.
The last minute, I did almost veer off and give him a hug because he's really cute, but it was oddly satisfying to hit him too.
I love that story. SAFC is back at it tomorrow after the break. Thanks to 4 straight wins, San Antonio FC is back on top of the USL Western Conference Championship standings with 46 points, one better than Sacramento Republic FC. Tomorrow night, they will face Monterey Bay FC, marking San Antonio's 3rd game in 8 days. Never an easy stretch, but they're feeling as good as possible after earning the max 6 points after those first 2 matches.
Good feeling, obviously, to collect maximum points in the first 2 games of the 3-game stretch. But our focus now is on Monterey. We understand the results haven't been there for them, but they do have a good team. They have an excellent coach in Frank Gallup, who's an experienced MLS coach, among league leaders in most wins at the MLS level.
It's awesome. Mentality-wise, we're flying high. Everyone's real confident, really happy. It's been all hands on deck since Wednesday in terms of recovery, trying to get the best sleep possible, ice baths, massages, doing everything in your power to come in fresh for Saturday. But it helps when you have 6 points coming into it, and everyone's buzzing. There's a nice smile on our face, but we're ready to go to war again tomorrow.
SAFC will host Monterey Bay FC tomorrow night at 8 at Toyota Field. Volleyball taking over the high school sports scene today in San Antonio. We take you to Harlandale, where the Indians were hosting Providence early in set 1. Providence down 3 until outside hitter Emma Claire Staber climbs the ladder and takes a big swing for the kill. But Harlandale was in the driver's seat, up 19-11. Kayla Reyes sets up Jocelyn Gutierrez, and she brings the thunder. And Harlandale goes on to win the straight sets 3-0. Providence improving to 7-2 on the season.
All right. Thank you, Larry.
You got it.
By the way, on social media, I saw Mary Rominger with like a rally that.
Oh, yeah, 40-second rally?
Yeah, so long we couldn't include it in the newscast.
We could not,
that long.
No.
Yeah. Thanks, Larry.
And we'll be right back.
I've been getting a lot of inquiries about a line of lights. It looked like a string of pearls up in the sky moving quickly this evening. Those are the SpaceX Starlink satellites. We actually see them fairly often around here, and you're eventually going to see them more frequently because they're going to be providing internet to all corners of the Earth, and eventually there's going to be over 12,000 of them or more up in the sky, littering really the night sky.
Okay. Thank you, Adam. That does it for us. Have an awesome weekend.
We'll see you next week.